major difference in the coding would be, if it is a case of poisoning, the poisoning code should be given the first listed diagnosis. Please keep in mind, because definitely you will be tested on this. If it's a case of poisoning or overdosage, then you will have to report the poisoning as a first listed diagnosis. Take for instance, a girl has consumed a phenol and has now developed vomiting. Here the sequence of coding would be poisoning phenol followed by the code for vomiting, that is a symptom. Or if she has become unconscious, the code for unconsciousness, that is a sequence. Whereas for adverse effect, it's just the reverse. In the case of adverse effect, it's just the reverse. You'll have to code vomiting first followed by adverse effect of phenol. Is that clear for you all? Figure out the case poisoning. Always a code for poison should be first, because that is a major cause of it. Poisoning first and then everything else. In the case of adverse effect, it is a reverse, because definitely you will be tested on it. How you can figure out in the exam is like, the first code would be a T code, right? Complications code. Whether it is adverse effect or poisoning, that would be a T code. Whereas if I say a symptom, say vomiting as a symptom, symptoms are all classified under alphabet R. So R becomes a symptom. You can find the R code as primary. If R code is primary, means that is adverse effect. Whereas T code should be primary. So in your options, in your examination, you will have to select the option which has a first diagnosis code as a T code. With this, you can eliminate it. So 4 options might be there, where T would be there in A and B, whereas in the C and D, R code would be there, a symptom code would be there. Now you determine that it is a case of poison, right? So in this case, only A and B would be the right option, because the first thing should be a T code, right? We will see the entire alphabetical list and all that. So T code. So now you have eliminated C and D. Now you have to figure out A and B, what is the difference? See if there is any initial encounter, subsequent encounter, things like that. Accordingly, you can report the codes.